Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this space is about blended families, healing and building homes with intention, not pressure. We talk about the real challenges, the quiet victories, and the daily choices that make blended families thrive. In the last video, we talked about why healing before blending is non-negotiable. Today, we're getting practical, because here's the truth. Blended families don't usually fall apart overnight. They erode slowly through habits that seem harmless but quietly damage trust. Most blended families don't fail because of one big mistake. They struggle because of repeated, unexamined behaviors that chip away at unity. So today, I'm sharing 3 things every blended family must stop doing if unity is the goal. Habit 1. Comparison. Comparison creates division faster than almost anything else. It shows up in subtle ways. Comparing children, comparing households, comparing parenting styles, comparing how things used to be. It sounds innocent, but it plants insecurity. Statements like, "At your dad's house," "In my old family," send the message that someone is always falling short. And when children hear those words, they don't just hear a comment, they hear judgment. They hear that they're being measured against a standard they didn't choose. 2 Corinthians 10:12 warns us about comparison because it distorts perspective and breeds insecurity. Every child, every home, every relationship is different. Comparison doesn't motivate, it fractures. Instead of comparing, practice individual respect. Notice what makes each child unique. Celebrate differences instead of ranking them. When you stop comparing, you create space for each person to feel valued for who they are, not who they're being measured against. Habit 2. Favoritism. Favoritism doesn't have to be loud to be damaging. Children are experts at detecting imbalance. They notice who gets grace, who gets blamed, who gets protected. Even unintentional favoritism destroys trust. It tells children, "You matter less." And once that seed is planted, resentment grows quickly. James 2:1 reminds us not to show favoritism because it wounds dignity and creates resentment. Now, fairness doesn't mean sameness. It doesn't mean every child gets the exact same privileges or consequences. What it does mean is consistency. It means emotional safety. It means children can predict how they'll be treated, regardless of whether they're biological or step. Favoritism is often unconscious. Sometimes it comes from guilt, sometimes from fear, sometimes from trying too hard to make up for something. But the impact is the same: division. Instead of favoritism, practice fairness and consistency. Be intentional about checking your own biases. Ask yourself, am I giving this child the same patience I give the others? Am I holding them to the same standard? When children see fairness, they feel secure, and security is the foundation of trust. Habit 3. Poor communication. Avoidance doesn't create peace, it creates resentment. Silence allows misunderstandings to grow, and unresolved tension never disappears on its own. In fact, silence often makes the problem bigger because people start filling in the blanks with assumptions. Ephesians 4:29 encourages communication that builds, not damages. In blended families, healthy dialogue is not optional, it's essential. Poor communication looks like avoiding hard conversations, assuming people should know how you feel, using silence as punishment, talking about issues with outsiders instead of addressing them at home. The danger is that silence feels easier in the moment, but it costs more in the long run. Instead of silence, practice honest, calm dialogue. That doesn't mean every conversation will be comfortable, but it does mean every conversation will be constructive. Use I statements instead of blame. Listen as much as you speak. And remember, communication isn't just about solving problems, it's about building connection. Remember, unity isn't built by stopping behavior alone, it's built by replacing it. Replace comparison with individual respect. Replace favoritism with fairness and consistency. Replace silence with honest, calm dialogue. These aren't dramatic changes, they're daily choices, and daily choices add up. If this resonated, subscribe and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Remember, blended doesn't mean broken, it means intentional.